body that was stolen from you? What if the damage was cancer? What if you completed treatment for your cancer and found out you have cancer again? And when you're done with that, you find out you have cancer again. And finally, done with your cancer, your kidneys give out and you need a transplant. Think of the feeling of betrayal from your own body. Think of the character of resolve it takes to continue to fight, to heal, to will yourself back to health. A car can be replaced, but we only have one body. Our speaker tonight is a friend. She is a powerful, passionate speaker. But more than that, she's a person worth listening to. The author of My Race Against Death, presenting Navigating with Purpose, Self-Advocacy for Wellness and Workplace Success. Please welcome Shobha Rao.
Thank you, SOlazar. That was such a wonderful introduction. I'm overwhelmed right now with your introduction, and I'm wondering where to start. Thank you so much. As SOlazar mentioned, I did have a transplant and 3 cancers, and as you can see right here, my book, which says My Race Against Death, which I published last year. One key thing I have learned in all my journey is that advocating for oneself is very important. If you cannot speak up for yourself, who will, right? So today I hope to cover some tips and tricks and some communication tips on how one can speak up for oneself. That is the goal of this workshop tonight. And as I mentioned in the beginning, it is about navigating with purpose for wellness and workplace success. Because those are 2 places where I have really fought through. And I thought if I could use my experience and build it as a workshop and help people, that's the goal of this event tonight. Let me ask you this question. Have you ever walked out of a doctor's office, a meeting, or even just a conversation and thought to yourself, I wish I had said something? Raise your hand if you have. There you go. We all have been there in that position. Maybe you didn't speak up because you didn't know how, or you weren't even sure it was even your place to speak up. Now, today, we are going to talk about those moments and ensure we don't feel guilty about them. But in fact, we have to learn how to recognize them, navigate them, and most importantly, own them. Be it your health, your career, your relationship, one truth that holds strong is no one will advocate for your needs as clearly and as powerfully as you can. No one else will. So just remunerate, reflect, and think about when was the last time you really advocated for yourself? Now, why is self-advocacy important? You keep your thought. I have not left it. You know when you have advocated for yourself, just keep it there. We will come back to it, end of the session. Self-advocacy, why is it important? Before that, let me just start sharing my slides so that I don't lose you just with my words. So tonight's agenda is understanding advocacy, identify the barriers for advocacy, and then let's find some strategies on how to go about it how to communicate, what we can do with that. Now, why self-advocacy? Why do you even have to speak up? Because it empowers you, it promotes independence, and it helps you overcome barriers and makes your voice heard. That is important. It could be as simple as somebody writing your name wrong in a coffee cup. Or it could be something as big as a doctor not listening to you when you're entering to go for a surgery. It could be anything. We have to start small and start speaking up. Now, what does self-advocacy involve? This is my expression of self-advocacy. I feel the expression of your needs is self-advocacy, and it helps you build better relationships with more trust. And how do you do it? Is to address whatever problems you have, negotiate, learn how to talk, which in fact builds your confidence, and it becomes through a full loop and helps you advocate. Let's share in the chat window, what do you think self-advocacy involves? In your opinion, right now, what do you think? Yes, speaking up for yourself. Oh yeah, I love that. Loving yourself. Asking for what you deserve, trusting yourself, speaking up to protect yourself. Well, you all know everything. So actually, I don't think we need this workshop session. You know what it involves. it does involve lots of preparation. JMO got it. It does involve lots of preparation. Let's see why and let's see how. Thank you for sharing your words. One key thing when it comes to healthcare, you need to realize that self-advocacy isn't confrontation. It's just proactive care. When you walk into a doctor's office and you have a set of questions and you keep on questioning the doctor, you should feel that you are not confronting someone, but instead you are actually looking after yourself. And it leads to better health outcomes. Same thing goes for at workplace as well. If you go and talk to someone, your boss, for example, it is about self-love, as someone said. It involves lots of preparation. You need to have the confidence to go and talk there. But finally, the outcome is going to be stupendous. That is the importance of self-advocacy because it fosters autonomy, confidence, and resilience. Now, let's do a quick workshop. I have a short questionnaire on healthcare. SOlazar will share it in the chat window. I want you all to go through the questions, rate yourself, and then we will share our scores. SOlazar, can you share that?
So it is there now. Everybody should see it.
Okay, so you got this questionnaire right now. There are 6 questions. You have to rate it from 1 to 5 and then just add it up. Tell me what your score is. I'm going to time it. I'll give you 5 minutes or 3 to 4 minutes.